Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Wargame Wednesday with Lorenzo and G from that'syourgarbage.com. This week we're playing Dropzone Commander again. This will be the last game of Dropzone Commander for a little while because we need to get bigger armies. We're going to go up to the top of skirmish size in the next little while, so we'll be playing some other games in the next couple of weeks. This time we're playing the same scenarios last week again because we had a lot of fun playing it, and it's a scenario that probably best suits the starter size armies, I think. So we're going to do that. We're going to figure out who's going to be the initiating player, and then we'll be back with the first turn. Okay, so I won the roll-off to go first. I chose to activate first. I activated one of my infantry battle group. I brought on the dropship over here, and I deployed one of my bear APCs with my infantry squadron that has my commander in it. And then, outside of the dropship, I had the other bear APC drive on from the board edge to this building and get in here, because these are both pieces of intel, and so I wanted to try and get to both of these simultaneously with my first activation, so I can roll for both pieces of intel at the beginning of the next turn. So that's my first battle group, and now we'll go to G.
Okay guys, it's G. Lorenzo's not playing this game by himself in a vacuum. I'm actually here. I basically did exactly what he did because the objectives were the same distance away and in the same formation, just inverted. On my board edge as they were on his board edge. So I have two squads in buildings, as you can see in the video, and that's basically all there is to it. So we're going to come back when we deploy some armored battle groups.
Okay, so I've elected to start by using my Saber main battle tank armored battle group, and I moved on the dropship the full 18 inches to behind the building in the towards the center of my deployment zone area, and I'm going to chill out there for now and see where I want my sabers later. And now we'll go to G's first armored battle group.
Okay guys, so I brought on my armored battle group and I put them behind this building. Can't really tell you why yet, because that would just be giving away my entire game plan at this point. I just moved them there, they got out, the dropship is close by, and it's awesome. Just a quick explanation as to why there are suddenly two armored battle groups, if you've seen the previous videos. The 5th edition FAQ that was released by Hawk Wargames actually tells you that you cannot have one battle group be more than half the total amount of points being used at the skirmish level. So, you know, a 300-point battle group at 500 points is a little bit unfair, and you can't do it anymore. So we had to split the battle groups into two. This was offset by the fact that now at skirmish you can take two battle groups instead of one. So your army list is still doable. It's just now you have two battle groups instead of one. That's really only the change. And that's it. So Lorenzo's going to come back with his third battle group.
Okay, so I've activated my second armored battle group. This is the battle group with the Rapier anti-aircraft tanks. And I elected to bring it on over on the right side behind the row of 3-level houses or 4-level houses that you see in the establishing shot. And I decided to land my dropship behind it, which took 2 inches off my movement, because you have to subtract 2 inches for every land or takeoff that you do when you're not dropping off or picking up units or squadrons. And I elected to land behind that building because the building, being less than 6 inches tall, would have provided no cover whatsoever to the dropship, because when targeting aircraft, you can target a point 2 inches above or 6 inches above the center of their flight stand. So a building less than 6 inches tall will not provide cover to an aircraft unless you land behind it.
Okay, so I brought on my third battle group. The anti-air walkers are now to the left of their dropship. The dropship is kind of behind that building, hopefully giving it some cover. And everything is where I want it for the next turn. Yes. Awesome. So we're going to roll to go first, and we'll come back. Okay guys, so I actually won the roll to go first, and I used my infantry battle group, scored 2 victory points. The guys in the buildings found their objectives, no one got blown up. And then I moved one infantry squad from one building across they ran across the street. They got in another building. Their APC moved to the corner of the building they were originally in, and the other squad got back in their APC, and now their APC is at the corner of the building that they were originally in. And their dropship just moved a little bit in between buildings to get a clear shot at the building in the middle. And then I proceeded to open with all my guns at the building that is there. I didn't have to measure any ranges because buildings don't have active countermeasures, and my range with my guns is like 36 inches, and that building is not 36 inches away. So I was pretty much able just to shoot the living crap out of that building, did 5 points of damage. It has 5 points of HP left, or damage points left, or whatever. That was my whole plan. If I don't blow that building up before Lorenzo gets an objective, I lose this.
Okay, so I elected to activate my infantry battle group first. I rolled for both of the intel in the two buildings I was occupying at the start of the turn. I located intel in both, but didn't get an objective bonus by rolling a 6. So I got 2 VPs for those. I then took the bear APC that was behind the building on the right and moved around the building in a covered position, the full 6 inches, while the infantry squadron that was inside that building transferred to the other building across the street from it that was in front of it. With my other infantry squadron, they got into their bear APC and got picked up by the Condor dropship. They're still in the Condor dropship, and they are behind a building that is more than 6 inches tall for cover for the dropship.
Well, that was interesting, but basically I shot with my Ares walkers at the building and managed to do 4 points of damage, dropping it down to 1 HP. So as long as Lorenzo doesn't get that objective, we're going to be probably able to force a draw.
Okay, so I've elected to activate my armored battle group with the Saber main battle tanks. I moved them from the central building they were hiding behind over to landing behind a building to the right of the building with the last piece of intelligence. I then deployed my 3 Saber main battle tanks behind that building, and so I put them in a position to hypothetically potentially be useful next turn, because I know that that objective is not going to be there because that building is definitely going to be dead. So I have to worry about now trying to collect a victory point or 2 by blowing up G's stuff. So we'll see how that goes next turn.
Okay, I have blown up the objective. Now we basically have Lorenzo's anti-aircraft stuff. And then we have to roll for turn, and if he doesn't kill something this turn, we're going to just call it. So I'm not saying.
Okay, so I've activated my second armored battle group with the Rapier anti-aircraft tanks. I elected to move the dropship for the Rapiers from behind the long building where it was, up directly to the building and behind the building directly in front of it, and land behind it because it's less than 6 inches tall. I deployed my Rapier anti-aircraft tanks to the left of my dropship, positioning them behind the building so that hopefully they can maybe do something useful next. Okay, so I won the roll to go first this turn, and I elected to activate my Saber main battle tank squadron. I moved it out from behind the building I was hiding them behind, and fired at the Juno APC that G had in a hull-down position behind the long building towards the back left corner of his deployment zone. I succeeded in destroying it, and given our time constraints and also that G has nothing towards this area of the board, able to do anything of any redeeming value to my Saber main battle tanks because they're armor 10, we elected to call the game at this juncture.
Okay, so yeah, this is my outro. Lorenzo already spoke. Basically, yeah, this game was a lot better considering I didn't have to fly into the center of the board, and it really just came down to who went first, which is better than how our games normally go. So Lorenzo won 3-2, correct?
Yes.
3-2, and I feel a lot better about this game than the games before because my crap wasn't horribly useless. But I would never take Juno APCs under any circumstances again. Alright, thanks for watching this episode of Wargame Wednesday. And next week we'll probably be playing Infinity or Firestorm Armada, probably Infinity because time constraints.